Captain Jake Morrison looked through the clear window of his ship. Far away in space, he could see the huge alien ships coming closer to Earth. The ships belonged to the Valorian Empire, and they were not coming in peace. Jake had been waiting for this moment for 3 long years. The alien ships were massive. Each one was bigger than a city. Their dark metal hulls gleamed under the light of distant stars. Weapons stuck out from every side like the spines of a deadly creature. The Valorians thought they had already won this war. They thought humans were weak and beaten. Jake touched his communication device. His voice was calm as he spoke to his crew. Everyone stay quiet. Let them think we are still hiding. His ship, the UES Nightfall, floated silently in the darkness of space. The aliens could not see it yet. That was exactly what Jake wanted. 3 years ago, the Valorians had attacked Earth without warning. Their ships had appeared in the sky like thunderclouds. They had destroyed cities and killed millions of people. The human government had no choice but to surrender. At least, that is what the aliens believed. Admiral Lisa Turner sat in her command center on the moon.
Wow.
She was watching the alien ships. Through her screens, her job was to make the aliens think humans were still weak and scared. She opened a communication channel to the lead alien ship. "Please, Your Excellency," Lisa said, making her voice sound frightened. "We cannot fight anymore. Our defenses are broken. Do not attack our cities again." She was a good actor. The aliens believed every word. On the alien flagship, General Zektar smiled with his sharp teeth. He was the leader of this attack force. He had conquered many planets before Earth. To him, humans were just another weak species that would serve the Empire. "Pathetic creatures," Zektar said to his officers. 3 years of occupation, and they still beg like animals. Today, we will finish what we started. Today, we will make Earth a slave world forever. But the aliens did not know the truth. Deep under Earth's Pacific Ocean, something incredible was hidden. The real human fleet was waiting there, invisible. 2 alien sensors. Commander Ben Parker stood in the underwater base, watching his screens. "All ships report ready, sir," said one of his officers. Ben nodded. Around him, dozens of human warships waited in the darkness of the ocean floor. These were not the old ships the aliens had seen during the First War. These were new. These were secret. The most secret of all was the UES Nightfall. Dr. Amy Collins walked through its corridors, checking every system. Who had helped build this amazing ship? It had taken 20 years to create, and the aliens knew nothing about it. "The quantum drive is working perfectly," Amy told Captain Jake through her communicator. "All weapons are ready. Ship can surface. Whenever you give the order." Her hand shook a little as she spoke. She knew today would change everything. The Nightfall was not like any ship ever built. It used technology that the aliens thought was impossible. During the First War, humans had captured some alien machines. Smart scientists like Amy had studied them for years. They had learned the alien secrets and made them better. Jake watched as more alien ships joined the fleet above Earth. There were hundreds of them now. Their weapons could destroy every city on the planet in minutes. The aliens were sure they would win easily. "Captain," said Lieutenant Ryan Bell, "the aliens are moving into their final attack positions. They will start bombing Earth in 10 minutes. Ryan was young, but he was brave. He had volunteered for this dangerous mission. Jake looked at his crew. There were 50 people on the Nightfall. All of them knew they might die today. But they also knew that Earth was counting on them. If their plan failed, humanity would become slaves forever. "Listen to me, everyone," Jake said to his crew. "For 3 years, we have let the aliens think we are weak. We have let them laugh at us. We have let them believe they have one. Today, we show them the truth about humans." The crew stood straighter. They were ready to fight. They had trained for this moment for years. Every person on the ship knew their job perfectly. On Earth's surface, people looked up at the sky with fear. They could see the alien ships like dark spots against the stars. Many people were crying. They thought this was the end of their world. They did not know that help was coming from below the waves. General Zektar gave his final orders. Begin the attack. Destroy their remaining defenses. Show these humans what happens when they resist the Empire. His ships turned their weapons toward Earth, but Jake was ready. He opened a channel to all the hidden human ships. This is Captain Morrison. Operation Nightfall begins now. Surface all ships. Let's show these aliens what Earth is really made of. Deep under the ocean, the water began to move. Something huge was rising from the bottom. The sea started to bubble and foam. Fish swam away in panic. The ocean itself seemed to be waking up. The UES Nightfall broke through the surface of the Pacific like a giant sea monster. Water poured off its black hole as it rose into the air. The ship was 3 kilometers long and covered with weapons that no one had ever seen before. On the alien ships, warning signals began to sound. Their sensors could not understand what they were seeing. The human ship seemed to bend light around itself. It appeared and disappeared like a ghost. "What is that thing?" General Zektar shouted at his officers. "Where did it come from?" The first time in his life, the alien general felt afraid. Jake smiled as his ship rose above the clouds. The time for hiding was over. The time for truth had come. The UES Nightfall rose higher into the sky, leaving the ocean far below. Water still dripped from its massive black hull as it climbed toward the stars. The ship moved without making any sound, like a shadow cutting through the air. It seemed to shimmer and change, making it hard for eyes to focus on. Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge, watching the alien fleet through his main screen. The Valorian ships had stopped moving. Their weapons were no longer pointing at Earth. Instead, every alien sensor was trying to understand what they were seeing. "Sir, the aliens are sending scan beams at us," said Lieutenant Ryan Bell. He was monitoring the alien communications. "Their computers cannot identify our ship. They are very confused." Ryan smiled as he listened to the panic in the alien voices. The Valorian ships were enormous, but the Nightfall was different. It was not just big. It was advanced beyond anything the aliens had ever seen. Strange energy patterns danced along its hull. Lights pulsed in rhythms that seemed to follow no known science. On the alien flagship, General Zektar stared at his screens. His officers ran back and forth, trying to make sense of their readings. "What kind of ship is that?" he demanded. "Are its engines? How is it flying?" "General," said one of his technicians, "our sensors show impossible readings. The ship seems to exist in several places at once. Our targeting systems cannot lock onto it." The alien's voice was shaking with fear. Jake opened a communication channel to the entire Valorian fleet. His voice was calm and clear as it reached every alien ship. "This is Captain Jake Morrison of the United Earth ship Nightfall. You have invaded our system. You have killed our people. You have 30 seconds to begin leaving, or we will show you why Earth never truly gave up." The bridge of the Nightfall was quiet. Every human crew member was ready for what would come next. They had trained for years for this moment. Dr. Amy Collins stood at her control station, her hands moving over buttons that controlled weapons the aliens could not imagine. General Zektar laughed when he heard Jake's message. His sharp teeth gleamed as he spoke to his fleet. "One human ship thinks it can threaten the entire Valorian Empire. These creatures have lost their minds. All ships prepare to destroy this fool." But other alien officers were not so confident. Commander Veltrek, captain of one of the smaller ships, studied his sensor readings carefully. "General, this ship is not showing up properly on our scans. Something is very wrong here. We should be careful." "Careful," Zektar roared. "We are the Valorian Empire. We've conquered 17 star systems. These humans are insects. One strange ship cannot hurt us." He gave the order to attack. The alien weapons fired first. Beams of deadly energy shot across space toward the Nightfall. The humans watching from Earth held their breath. The beams should have destroyed any ship instantly. Instead, something impossible happened. The energy beams passed right through the Nightfall as if it was not there. The ship flickered like a mirage in the desert. Some beams hit empty space where the ship had been a second before. Others struck the ship but caused no damage at all. "Impossible," whispered General Zektar. His most powerful weapons had done nothing. The human ship floated in space, completely undamaged. Its hull still glowed with strange energy patterns. Lieutenant Commander Kate Williams was operating the Nightfall's defense systems. Quantum shields are working perfectly, Captain. She reported, their weapons cannot touch us. The ship exists in multiple dimensions at once. We can choose which attacks affect us. Jake nodded. The years of secret research had paid off. Human scientists had taken alien technology and made it far better. The Valorians had given humanity the tools to defeat them without knowing it. Captain, said Dr. Collins, all weapon systems are charged and ready. The displacement cannons are locked onto their flagship. Shall I fire? Her voice was steady, but her eyes showed the weight of what was about to happen. Jake looked at the alien fleet on his screen. Hundreds of ships filled with thousands of aliens who thought humans were weak. They had learned nothing from 3 years of occupation. They still believed might alone could win any battle. Fire one warning shot, Jake ordered. Let them see what our weapons can do. Target their flagship's weapon systems only. Do not kill anyone yet. Dr. Collins pressed a single button. The Nightfall's main weapon activated, but it did not fire anything visible. There was no beam of light, no missile, no explosion. Instead, something much stranger happened. On the alien flagship, General Zektar was screaming orders when suddenly half of his weapons simply disappeared, not destroyed. Not damaged, but completely gone. Perfect round holes appeared in his ship's hull where the weapons had been. The edges of the holes were smooth as glass. What happened to our guns? Shouted an alien technician. They are just gone. There's nothing left. How is this possible? Emergency alarms sounded throughout the ship as air began leaking through the holes. Other alien ships saw what had happened to their flagship. Panic spread through the fleet like wildfire.
Ow!
Their sensors could not explain how the human weapons worked. The missing weapons had simply stopped existing, Commander. Danny Roberts was monitoring all alien communications from his station on the Nightfall.
Yes, sir.
They are trying to understand what happened. Their scientists have no explanation. Some ships are asking permission to retreat. Jake opened the communication channel again. This time his voice was harder, more serious. That was a demonstration. Your weapons are gone, but your crew is alive. You have seen what we can do. This is your final warning. Leave our solar system. Now, or face the full power of humanity. The alien fleet floated in space, no longer attacking. For the first time in their history, the Valorians had met something they could not understand or defeat. The age of their easy victories was ending. The alien fleet stayed frozen in space. General Zektar looked at the holes in his ship, where his weapons used to be. His officers ran around trying to fix systems that were no longer there. The smooth, round holes showed empty space beyond, and emergency barriers had sealed automatically to keep air inside. Captain. Jake Morrison watched the alien confusion on his screens. He could see ships turning to face each other, their commanders asking questions that no one could answer. The Valorian Empire had never faced anything like this before. Captain, said Dr. Amy Collins from her control station, their fleet is trying to form a new attack pattern. They are moving their strongest ships to the front. She watched as massive alien battleships slowly moved into position. They still think they can win with bigger guns? Jake shook his head. The aliens had learned nothing from the demonstration. They still believed that raw power was the only thing that mattered in war. Humans had learned something different during their long history of fighting each other. Lieutenant, Commander Danny Roberts monitored the alien communications. Sir, General Zektar is ordering all ships to focus fire on us. He thinks that if enough ships shoot at once, they can break through our defenses. Danny's voice carried a note of sadness. They are going to lose a lot of people. Give them one more chance, Jake said. Open the communication channel to the entire alien fleet. General Zektar, you have seen what our technology can do. Your weapons cannot hurt us. Your sensors cannot understand us. Do not force us to show you our full power. The alien general's angry voice filled the bridge of the Nightfall. Lies and tricks. No single ship can defeat the Valorian Empire. All ships, fire everything you have. Destroy this human ghost. Over 300 alien ships opened fire at once. The space around the Nightfall filled with deadly energy beams, explosive missiles, and weapons that could crack planets. The combined firepower was enough to destroy an entire moon. Earth's people watched in terror, sure that their secret ship would be destroyed, but the Nightfall moved like it was dancing. Lieutenant Sarah Brooks controlled the ship's movement from her pilot station. The ship seemed to slide between the attacks, moving in ways that broke the rules of physics. Some weapons passed through empty space where the ship had been. Others hit the ship but caused no damage at all. Quantum phase shifting is working perfectly, reported engineer Kate Williams. We are moving between dimensions faster than their weapons can track. They are shooting at shadows. The alien weapons fire continued for 2 full minutes. When it finally stopped, the Nightfall floated in space, completely undamaged. Its black hull still glowed with strange energy patterns. Not a single mark showed on its surface. General Zektar stared at his screens in disbelief. His entire fleet had fired everything they had, and the human ship looked exactly the same as before. Impossible, he whispered. Nothing can survive that much firepower. General, said Commander Veltrak from his smaller ship, maybe we should listen to them. This is not normal technology. We might be making a terrible mistake. Other alien captains were sending similar messages, but Zektar ignored them all. Jake looked at his crew. Every person on the bridge was ready for what came next. They'd hoped the aliens would be smart enough to leave. Instead, the Valorian Empire had chosen to learn the hard way. We tried to be merciful, Jake said to his crew. We gave them every chance to leave peacefully. Now we show them why humans survived every war we ever fought. He turned to Dr. Collins. Amy, show them what the displacement cannons can really do. Dr. Collins nodded and began working at her control station. The Nightfall's main weapons powered up with a deep humming sound that the crew could feel in their bones. Energy patterns flowed along the ship's hull like liquid lightning. Targeting the alien flagship's engine room, Amy reported. The blast will disable their ship, but leave the crew alive. She looked at Jake. Ready to fire, Captain. Fire, Jake ordered. The displacement cannon fired, but again there was nothing to see. No beam of light, no missile, no explosion. The weapon worked by reaching through folded space and simply removing matter from the target. It was a technology that the aliens thought was impossible. On the alien flagship, the main engine room suddenly contained a perfect sphere of empty space, 20 meters wide. The engines, the control systems, the power generators, everything in that sphere simply stopped existing. The ship's lights went out as power failed throughout the vessel. General Zektar was thrown to the floor as his ship shuddered and died. Emergency power kicked in, but the main engines were gone. His flagship, the pride of the Valorian fleet, was now just a drifting piece of metal. Engine room report, Zektar shouted into his communicator. Only silence answered him. When he sent people to check, they found empty space where the engines used to be. The metal edges of the hull were perfectly smooth, as if the missing parts had never existed at all. The other alien ships saw what happened to their flagship. Ship after ship reported the same impossible thing. Their most powerful vessel had been crippled without any visible attack. Fear spread through the fleet like a disease. Commander Veltrak broke formation and began moving his ship away from Earth. This is Commander Veltrak to all ships. We cannot fight this enemy. They have weapons we do not understand. We must retreat before they destroy us all. Other alien captains began to agree. Ship after ship started pulling back from the battle. The great Valorian fleet, which had never been defeated, was running away from a single human ship, but Jake was not finished. He opened the communication channel one last time. General Zektar, you have seen what happens when you attack Earth. This is what happens when you underestimate humanity. We are not the weak species you thought we were. News of the battle spread across the galaxy faster than the fleeing Valorian ships. On distant worlds, alien species who had lived under Valorian rule for decades heard impossible stories. A single human ship had defeated the entire Earth invasion fleet. The mighty Valorian Empire was running away. Admiral Chris Murphy sat in his hidden command center beneath the Rocky Mountains. His screens showed messages coming in from all over the galaxy. Valorian colonies were reporting that their garrison troops were packing up and leaving. Some were abandoning their posts without even waiting for orders. "Sir," said his communications officer, "we are getting surrender messages from 12 different Valorian worlds. They are asking Earth not to send the ghost ship to their systems." The officer looked amazed. "They are calling the Nightfall a ghost ship because it appears and disappears." On the bridge of the Nightfall, Captain Jake Morrison received a priority message from Earth. President Helen Carter's face appeared on his main screen. She looked tired but hopeful for the first time in 3 years. "Jake, the whole galaxy is talking about what you did," the president said. "Valorian forces are retreating from 7 star systems. Their subject worlds are declaring independence. The Empire is falling apart faster than we ever imagined possible." Jake nodded. The plan had worked better than anyone had hoped. The human strategy had never been to fight the entire Valorian Empire ship by ship. Instead, they had destroyed the Empire's greatest weapon, its reputation for being unbeatable. Dr. Amy Collins monitored the quantum energy signatures left by the retreating alien ships. "Captain, they are not just leaving our solar system. They are running all the way back to their home worlds. The fleet is breaking up as individual captains choose their own escape routes." The Valorian military communication networks were chaos. Ship captains were refusing orders from their commanders. Some were demanding to know why they had never been told that humans possessed such advanced technology. Others were simply running away as fast as their ships could travel. Commander Veltrek, who had been one of the first to retreat, sent a message directly to Earth. "To the humans of Earth, I am Commander Veltrek of the Valorian Third Fleet. I surrender my ship and crew to your authority. Please do not destroy us. We will leave your territory and never return." Lieutenant Commander Danny Roberts showed Jake the flood of similar messages. "Sir, we are getting individual surrender offers from 43 alien ships. Some of them are asking for safe passage home. Others want to join our side." Danny shook his head in wonder. "A few hours ago, they thought we were defeated. Now they think we are gods." But the biggest shock came from the Valorian homeworlds themselves. Emperor Krathfin, the supreme ruler of the Valorian Empire, appeared on communication screens across the galaxy. The ancient alien leader looked old and defeated as he spoke. "To all worlds of the Valorian Empire," the Emperor said, "we have learned that the human species possesses technology far beyond our understanding. Our attack on Earth has failed completely. I am ordering all Valorian forces to withdraw from human territory immediately." The Emperor's message continued with words that no one had ever expected to hear. "Furthermore, any world that wishes to leave the Empire may do so without punishment. We will not fight wars we cannot win. We will not send our people to die against impossible weapons." On Earth, people came out of their hiding places and looked up at the sky. The alien ships that had terrified them for years were leaving. Some were already just tiny dots of light moving away from the sun. Others were broadcasting surrender messages as they departed. General Zektar's crippled flagship was towed away by one of his escort ships. The proud alien commander who had expected an easy victory was now a prisoner on his own vessel. His engines were gone, his weapons were gone, and his reputation was destroyed. "How did this happen?" Zektar asked his officers. "How did we lose to a single human ship?" But none of his people had answers. The human technology was so advanced that it seemed like magic to them. The collapse of Valorian authority had immediate effects across the galaxy. On the mining world of Kepler 452, the alien overseers simply walked away from their posts. Local population took control of their own planet for the first time in 50 years. Governor Ilsan of the Proxima system sent a message to Earth that made everyone smile. "To the brave humans who defeated the Empire, we formally request protection. From Earth's fleet, we will provide any resources you need. Please do not send the ghost ship unless we misbehave." Captain Morrison received reports from human intelligence agents hidden throughout the galaxy. The Valorian Empire was not just retreating, it was breaking apart completely. Military commanders were fighting each other instead of following orders. Some were declaring themselves independent warlords. Others were trying to make peace with the worlds they had conquered. The psychological impact Was perfect, reported Dr. Collins. We did not just defeat their fleet, we destroyed their confidence. An empire built on fear cannot survive when its enemies stop being afraid. Jake looked at his crew. 50 humans on one ship had brought down an empire that had ruled hundreds of worlds. They had done it not through massive battles or long wars, but through careful planning and superior technology. "Hey, sir," said Lieutenant Ryan Bell, "we are receiving a message from the Valorian Emperor himself. He wants to speak with you personally." Ryan's voice was full of amazement. "The Emperor of the Valorian Empire wants to talk to a human captain." Jake straightened his uniform. 3 years ago, he had been hiding in the depths of Earth's oceans. Now the most powerful ruler in the galaxy wanted to surrender to him personally. The war that had seemed hopeless was ending in complete victory. "Put him through," Jake said. "Let's hear what the Emperor has to say to the people he tried to enslave." 6 months after the battle, Captain Jake Morrison stood in the same spot on the bridge of the Nightfall. But everything outside had changed completely. Instead of enemy warships, he watched peaceful ships from dozens of different worlds arriving at Earth every day. They came seeking friendship, trade, and protection. The Valorian Empire was gone. Emperor Krathvin had kept his word and dissolved the imperial government. The old alien ruler now lived quietly on his homeworld, tending to gardens and writing poetry. He had publicly apologized to every species his empire had conquered. Admiral Lisa Turner worked from her new command center, which was 10 times larger than before. Her job had changed from hiding Earth's weakness to managing Earth's new role as a galactic power. Every day brought new requests for help from former Valorian colonies. "Jake," Admiral Turner said during their morning briefing, "we have received formal requests for protection from 67 different worlds. The Centauri Republic wants us to help them write a new constitution. The Vegan Alliance is asking for our help with their food shortage problems." Jake nodded as he reviewed the reports. Humanity had never wanted to rule the galaxy, but the collapse of the Valorian Empire had created a power vacuum. Without the Empire's military presence, old conflicts were starting again. Pirates were attacking trade routes. Some former Valorian generals had become warlords. Dr. Amy Collins had been promoted to Director of Xenotechnology. She now led a team of scientists from 12 different species, all working together to develop peaceful uses for human technology. The quantum displacement systems that had destroyed Valorian weapons were now being used to remove tumors from alien patients. "Medical applications are incredible," Dr. Collins explained to a group of visiting alien doctors. "We can remove diseased tissue without cutting the patient. We can repair damaged organs by displacing the damaged parts and replacing them with healthy tissue." The most surprising development was the friendship between humans and former Valorian soldiers. Commander Veltrek, who had been one of the first to surrender, now served as Earth's ambassador to the former Valorian worlds. He helped other aliens understand that humans were not conquerors like the old empire. "Humans are different," Veltrek explained to a gathering of former Valorian officers. "They could have enslaved us after their victory. Instead, they offered us friendship. They are teaching us their medical technology. They're helping us rebuild our worlds." President Helen Carter addressed the new Galactic Council, which met in a space station orbiting Earth. Representatives from over 100 worlds attended the meetings. The council made decisions about trade, defense, and cooperation between species. "We did not seek this responsibility," President Carter told the assembled aliens, "but we accept it. Earth will help maintain peace in the galaxy. We will share our knowledge with all who seek it. But we will never rule over other species the way the Valorian Empire did." The Nightfall had become a symbol of hope across the galaxy. Captain Morrison received visitors from many worlds who wanted to see the ship that had ended the Age of Empires. Children from a dozen species played with toy models of the famous vessel. "Captain," said Lieutenant Sarah Brooks, "we have a request from the Andromedan colonies. They want the Nightfall to visit their system as a show of friendship. They are planning a celebration in honor of the ship that gave them freedom." Jake smiled. The Nightfall had been designed as a weapon of last resort. Now it traveled the galaxy as a peaceful ambassador. Its displacement cannons were used to clear space debris and mine asteroids. Quantum shields protected scientific research stations. The former Valorian military had split into 3 groups. Some, like Veltrek, had joined the new Galactic community and worked for peace. Others had retired to their home worlds and tried to forget their imperial past. A few had become criminals. They were hunted down by their own former comrades. General Zektar was the most famous example of. The third group, former invasion commander, had been captured by other Valorians and put on trial for war crimes. He spent his days in prison, still trying to understand how humans had defeated his mighty fleet. It was impossible, Zektar told his guards every day. One ship should not have been able to destroy an empire. The humans must have used some kind of evil magic. He never understood that the real magic had been human. Determination and intelligence. The galaxy was learning to live without empires. Trade flourished between worlds that had been enemies for centuries. Scientific discoveries were shared freely. Wars became rare as species learned to solve their problems through negotiation, instead of violence. Dr. Collins often visited schools on different worlds, teaching alien children about science and cooperation. The universe is big enough for everyone, she told them. We do not need to fight over planets and resources. We can work together to explore the stars. Captain Morrison received a final message from the last Valorian holdout, a small fleet. Hiding in the outer galaxy, their commander, Admiral Kexrin, had refused to surrender for 6 months. Now, even he was ready to give up. Captain Morrison, the message said, I am Admiral Kexrin of the Valorian Deep Space Fleet. I have heard that you treat prisoners well. I formally surrender my remaining ships to Earth's authority. Please be merciful to my crews. They were only following my orders. Jake recorded his reply carefully. Admiral Kexrin, you and your crews are welcome to join the new galactic community. We will help you find new homes and new purposes. The age of warfare is over. The age of cooperation has begun. As Jake finished recording his message, he looked out at the stars. Somewhere in the darkness, the Nightfall's sister ships were being built, not as weapons of war, but as tools of exploration and discovery. Humanity was ready to explore the galaxy alongside their new friends. The Empire had collapsed in moments, but building a better future would take years. Jake was looking forward to the challenge.